Hi everybody, Wayne here. So back on December 22nd, 2016, on the Wayne Garten channel, I made a video called Quick Looper and Beat Buddy Jam. And in the beginning of that video, I mentioned a surprise video that's coming your way. And I know that's quite a while ago, but this is that video. And I appreciate everybody watching, and for those of you that remembered me mentioning it, thanks. This is that video. One thing I want to say was, I've watched it, I shot it and I watched it. I don't like the fact that my head is cropped off, like especially in the beginning, but I wasn't going to go back and reshoot it, but so I know it's not the most professionally done, but I think it's still interesting and worth watching. One thing I forgot to mention in the video, which you're about to watch, was I talk a little bit about my influences in art, and someone I forgot to mention who's probably my biggest influence was actually my older brother, Ray. He was a very good artist, and he's still very good. And he was probably my biggest influence. And I forgot to mention that in the video, and I wanted to say something. We still have lots of his artwork around the house. What I want to do is I'll show a quick image of one of his pieces of artwork, and then we'll get into the video itself. So this image that you'll see next is actually a painting that my brother did, and this is the kind of artwork that inspired me. So just thanks for watching, everybody. Just a quick note, the Wayne Garten channel will be music from this point on, and I'll start making more guitar videos pretty soon. The Uncle Wayne channel is going to be all family videos and all other types of videos. I'm going to put this channel on both. I'm going to put this video on both channels. This is really more of an Uncle Wayne type channel video, but I'm going to put it on the Wayne Garten channel also, because I feel I need to, because I introduced it originally on this channel. I'm going to upload this one to both channels. Alright, so just thanks for watching, everybody. And let me know what you think in the comments. We'll talk to you later. So here's a quick shot of Ray's painting that he did when he was in junior high school. And I think it's very good for a junior high school student. A slightly funny story. Years later, I was flipping through a National Geographic magazine, and by pure chance, I came across this photograph and I recognized it. I think that's crazy. Just a random National Geographic from the 70s. I was looking, this was probably painted in the very early 70s, and just by chance I ran across it and I recognized it. That'll never happen again. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. So how would you define artwork? It's a very hard thing to define, and the definition seems to keep changing over time as our idea of what artwork is and our idea of beauty expands. The definition tends to keep changing. I looked up a couple of definitions for artwork, and here's a couple from the internet. The expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. That's a pretty good basic definition. Here's another one. The various branches of creative activity such as painting, music, literature, and dance. Whatever your thoughts on what art is. It is something that is important to keep us thinking forward. One of the purposes of art is to keep us thinking forward and trying to see more things as beautiful, more things as attainable. But creativity comes from a lot of different places, and for me, we all have our favorite artists that we like. For me, it was this guy right here. This is Chuck Close, if you've ever heard of him. This painting was done in 1967 to 1968. It's done with an airbrush, and these paintings are massive. I actually don't know how tall they are, but they're like as tall as a wall. You know, they're very tall, done with an airbrush. So I thought this would be a neat shirt to wear for this video. And he was a huge inspiration for me. Once I was so fascinated by his style. Wow, it looks so photographic. You know, how does he get, you know, it's focused. It actually has depth of field, just like a photograph. And I was so intrigued by that, you know, I kind of did a few paintings of my own. And, you know, I could talk for a long time about how long I've done artwork. I've, you know, from as far back as I can remember, I've done artwork. And recently I've kind of fallen out of it. I haven't done anything for actually a very long time. But these are some of the things that I'm very proud of. And I'm thinking about maybe doing some more artwork here pretty soon. But, you know, this is one of our rooms in the house. Kind of cluttered, kind of a storage room. This painting here, as you can see, I was very influenced by the photorealism, the photorealist genre. I was so intrigued. You know, trying to take what a camera sees and then kind of transitioning that over into paint. You know, I thought that was a really cool thing. I want to try to go through. I don't want this video to get too long. This might be a two-part video. It looks like it might be that way. This was actually a friend of mine in high school, and his name was Mark, and I think it came out very nice. You know, I tended to do a lot in black and white because Chuck Close worked a lot in black and white, and the difference was I used a paintbrush with this. I used this was oil. I think Chuck Close used acrylic, I'm not sure. I don't really know. But I did this with oil paint and a paintbrush. One thing I found out very quickly, I prefer paintbrushes that are actually synthetic. You can get like natural hair paintbrushes. You know, I think they're made out of like horse hair or something like that. But you can get synthetic bristles, which to me were a lot more durable. And also I found some nice ones that were actually square. And my favorite paint brushes were square, made out of a synthetic bristle, because I found I could control them much easier. I could get a nice edge using the corner, you know, of the square, you know, the bristles made like a square. It wasn't just kind of loose bristles everywhere. It was a nice tight square, and I could make sharp edges. So here's a painting of Mark.